home with Alex Lowe's, or rather in Alex Lowe's home gym with what looked like some hideous instruments of torture.
Yeah, that's basically what a gym is, isn't it, really?
I don't know.
No, yeah, to be honest, in the lockdown, it's been quite good having some stuff to be able to train at home. Normally, I don't use it that much, but obviously the last few weeks has been a little bit different to normal.
So is this where you go when Corinne mentions painting and putting up shelves and things? Oh, no, I've just got to go and do some uphill skiing on my thing.
Yeah, the ski machine. That isn't a very nice machine, actually, but
no.
To be honest, I've done some paint. Well, not painting. I've put a couple of mirrors up and a few shelves. That's about my limit. So you go to the gym to get away from your wife, don't you? But she wants to train as well, so I need to find another excuse. Luckily now, golf courses are open. So yes. I managed to get away from.
So, Alex Lowe's, you are the leader of the World Superbike Championship.
Yeah, it'd be nice if it was after 11 rounds going into the last round, but after one, I'll take that.
We might have got into it. We might have got into the last round already.
Yeah, maybe. But obviously, it's leading the World Championship is not important now. But to start so strongly with a new team is always important to start well. And obviously it started really well. It was nice to. Obviously, I've been with the same team for so many years. It was all a bit strange changing teams this off season, but it's good start.
How did the Kawasaki thing come about? Because there were lots of rumours floating around for a little while, and lots of denials coming from you and your manager, and then all of a sudden, it's real. And so, how did it happen? Did you do it? Did Hodgie do it? Did Corin do it? What happened?
Not me. Hodgie. Basically, they got in touch with Hodgie. Obviously, every time your contract's coming to an end, trying to speak with other teams in the paddock, and Kawasaki obviously have always had a different plan, so we never got anywhere with them. And then last year, Hodgie called me one day. I remember it. He said, "Oh, Kawasaki have been in touch," and obviously we didn't expect that at the time. Didn't know. Sort of, to be honest, I presumed it was for the Top Racks ride. When I knew, obviously, that before most people that Top Rack was coming to Yamaha. So I was sort of presumed it. Leon would probably stay on the main bike, and it would be a sort of satellite ride. And then obviously when we got down the line a bit and we realised it wasn't, at the end of the day, if you could ride for any team in the paddock and it would be the KRT team, given how the last few years have gone, and you could choose anyone to be your teammate, you'd want to be teammates with Johnny. So it was obviously something that I was really, really happy to get the opportunity to do.
So you had to pay Hodgie money for them to call him.
Yeah.
So he didn't actually do anything.
Yeah, I don't know what he does actually.
I've wondered, to be honest. He does a lot of standing around in shirts that's slightly too small.
Yeah. Well, not slightly. He wears a small. He needs to wear a large. I've actually been chatting to him about that the other day. About he needs to wear a bigger t-shirt. It's a bit of a running joke, but now, obviously from the point where you make contact, there's a lot that needs to be doing to make it happen. And to be honest, last year was the best year I've put together. In fact, in my opinion, 17, 18 and 19, I've been pretty consistent. Not really as close to the front as I want in terms of winning races, but I've put 3 consistent years together with not too many mistakes. And last year, obviously, managing to grab 3rd in the championship and was a good way to leave Yamaha, but also it's given me some good confidence, and I've got something to build on now. If I want to beat Johnny, you've got to be fast and consistent, and trying to beat him every week, he doesn't make that many mistakes. So I feel like I've had some. It's the right time to be in this position.
How is the relationship with the new team? Because everybody is new to you entirely. So
yeah, good, to be honest. They've got so much experience. Marcel Lecrucci obviously worked with Tom for a lot of years. Worked with Leon also last year. So he's got so much experience about the bike, and obviously I haven't. So he's been passing a lot of that on to me. Obviously won World Championship with Tom already. So it's been good. He can obviously look at the data, see how I'm riding the bike, sort of give me some pointers on how the Kawasaki, from his experience, needs to be ridden. And we worked on that a bit in the winter. And it's been that sort of, I really noticed that how well the guys understand the bike and what you need to do on the bike to get the results. So I had a lot more input from them trying to sort of help me adapt to the bike. And mechanics are great. Obviously, a lot of different nationalities, predominantly English I've been working with in the past from BSB and then Paul's team. So it's still working a bit of a different way. And it takes a little bit of time, I think, to make sure you're understanding each other properly.
So are you at the moment adjusting yourself to the bike instead of the other way around?
Yeah, well, not really. The bike needs to be different to the Yamaha, but you understand that as soon as you jump on the bike, long corners, it doesn't want to turn when it's right on the side like the Yamaha does. So you ride it naturally a little bit more stop-start. It's so good on the brakes, have a lot of feel from the front end of the bike. So you can send the bike up the inside. For example, like turn 1 at Phillip Island, I've never had as much confidence as sending it in there, and now I can get it. So you stop the bike a bit more. The bike's really stable on the exit, so you sort of use them characteristics. I think if you change any bike, you have to understand that. But I already knew that quite well from following Johnny and Leon and Tom over the past few years. But I need to adapt myself a little bit more. Obviously, I spent 4 years on the R1, so naturally I can still improve quite a bit in terms of adapting my style. But there's some things on the bike, the way I ride, I'm a little bit more aggressive. I had to really calm myself down on the Yamaha, and I can go back to a bit more of my natural style, which is positive. But the way I brake and how it feels is a little bit how I used to ride the bike back when I raced in England. I used to have real good confidence on the front, so that's quite positive for me.
Are you a little bit upset with how you had to leave Yamaha, or was it kind of okay in the end?
Yeah, I sort of felt like I was improving every year. It's a difficult one because people look from the outside, they think, oh, you had a lot of opportunities. But to be honest, it depends what the opportunities are. I know what the bike's like now at present. I know what the bike was like when we started. You could never have rode it as well as I did last year back in 2014 because the package wasn't as good. And then obviously I pushed it hard and made some mistakes. I was improving every year, so I sort of thought I might stay there and try to. I've had a great relationship with Paul, real good relationship with them and the team, and where I was still improving, and I sort of felt like I'd stay there. But and they always did a great job for me. Paul especially has always stuck by me. But then they obviously wanted to change. Totrak's the young guy. He managed to beat Jonathan on the privateer Kawasaki, so you can't say that he didn't deserve the ride. He's young and he's fast. But yeah, it was a shame, I suppose, but it all happens for a reason. I can't be annoyed that they wanted to do something different. I should have gone a bit faster and then not give them an option. If winning races, they wouldn't have been able to get rid of me. But yeah, it was probably, looking back now, about the right time to do something different anyway for both sides. So hopefully it'll work out all right. Work out better for me, I think, though.
Possibly. Who else were you talking to when you found out that your services were no longer required by Mr. Dasoli and his band?
Honda, quite a lot in the middle of the year at Suzuka, because I've got a good relationship with Harvey from Honda UK, and we're speaking quite a lot about coming out, and nobody knew if Honda was coming back or not. And it was quite a late deal, obviously, getting done. So, yeah, also a little bit with the BMW with Sean. That obviously could have been, they're improving all the time. But yeah, before Yamaha wanted to get rid of me, I sort of obviously believed I would stay, so I wasn't talking to too many people. But then after that, we had quite a lot of good interest in with Neil, and when the Kawasaki thing came a possibility, we just tried to. I felt like I really wanted to sort of go up against Johnny on the same bike, and now I'm in a position where I can, and he's the best sort of superbike rider of my generation anyway, since I've been in the paddock. So I find out how good I am or not, and then that's sort of give it my best shot, and that's sort of good enough for me. They're my sort of character. I've always wanted that opportunity.
I was thinking, have you not given yourself the hardest job in probably superbike racing in the world, trying to beat Jonathan Rea on his own motorbike? What were you thinking?
I don't see it like that, to be honest, because beat Johnny Rea, people just think I'm Yeah, I'm fast. I'm quite fast. One in BSB can put it together for a lap, but is he going to be there for the year, or it, maybe I'm not as they don't really know. No one's going to expect me to be able to put it together and beat Johnny. I obviously, I think I can.
Yeah.
I think that I can, and I think that until you try on the same bike, you don't really know. That's my motivation. I think and I think that he's got. If I turn up and beat him this year, it's bad for him because he can't win really. Whichever way you look at it, I think he's got the toughest job, and every year he wins, the next year's even tougher. Like all I'm trying to do is improve every time I get on the bike, work hard with the team, enjoy my racing, and try and beat him. If I don't, give it my best shot. What he's got to do is win. There's no alternative. If I'm first and he's second, he's disappointed. And that's a lot tougher way to go racing, but he's managed to win the last 5 years, so I need to work very hard if I'm going to have a chance of getting sort of on top of him. But I don't see it as I just see it as a really good challenge, and I'm looking forward
to it. What sort of conversation did you have after Phillip Island or at Phillip Island when you came out of what is his second home as number one?
You know what? Johnny is. I've always got on all right with Johnny, to be honest. Even last year when he took me out at Breath, I was all right with him. I've took people out before, and we spoke later on. Obviously, everybody else gets involved, and social media get involved.
The wife gets involved.
Yeah, God gets involved, but it's one of them things. He was a bit desperate at the time because Bautista was winning. He wanted to be on the podium. He messed up, and that's what it was. But it's we've got. I don't know. I don't really know what our relationships were like. Really, we're not sort of best friends away from the track, but we speak about the bike. I say what I think. I'm pretty black and white anyway with anyone, so I don't really care either way. And he was, he was obviously quite happy that he made out. He was quite happy that I did a good job, and I said well done to him, said well done to me, and we said what I thought about the bike compared to the guys, and that's it. We haven't really spoken much since. Obviously, he wouldn't have been that happy, but that's racing, I suppose. But to be honest, I got a lot of. I can't not like Johnny because I've got too much respect for him for what he does on the track. So it's I want to beat him. I want to do everything I can to beat him. And on track, he makes he doesn't give an inch. Sometimes when it's given back to him, he doesn't like it too much, like he was with Tom. But I'm not. I'm going to do the best I can to beat him, and I've still got that one in the back pocket from Heref. So if I need to use it this year, it's nice to have one. It's nice to owe him one.
What I mean, this deal you have with Kawasaki, is it a year or a year and an option?
Year. It's a year basically, a year and an option, but obviously we don't know about next year yet.
All I was thinking was it's you might have to do a deal with him for next year after only racing 3 times.
Yeah, which is it's a shame. It's a shame for everybody what's happening, because I don't know about you, but I thought the races were great. Obviously, I did good and I got some good results, but the races in general were a lot closer than they have been. So it was a fantastic weekend for the World Superbike, and then we haven't got to sort of keep that momentum going. But yeah, I don't know what to say about the situation at the minute. We've just got to sit tight and see what happens. I don't really know what's going to happen. I guess if there's no more racing this year, hopefully they keep me on board next year and I can start as well as I did this year.
Is there anywhere on the circuits that you're supposed to race on this year that you can see where the Kawasaki will be brilliant, and anywhere where you think, not so much?
I don't really know yet.
I was just wondering if you've got anywhere, any kind of thoughts as opposed to knowing.
Yeah, for example, I've always struggled a certain amount at Imola, and I think how the bike stops and accelerates well, it would be a lot easier to go fast there than, for example, on the Yamaha. But yeah, I don't know. Obviously, I rode the bike in the winter. It's quite cool in Jerez, so there's a lot more grip on the track, so the bike was behaving really well. But yeah, I don't know. That's one of the things I'm most interested to try. Obviously, I want to get the best results I can, but I want to just experience this bike at all the different tracks and see how fast and how well I can go. Or maybe some races obviously clearly be more difficult probably than the Yamaha, but with this team and the guys, I feel like I can get the most out of any weekend, and that's got to be what I've got to try and do.